Hey, I'm Hello Rodney. Thanks for clicking on my video. I've decided to do some video stuff about this tour, the last day, last stage. Look how beautiful this is. These are really tall trees right here. Here's the trunks over here. Look how they've trimmed those trees to make that. It's almost like a cavern, a tree cavern. This guy right here, this is Peter Sagan. He's an awesome bike rider. He's a fabulous bike rider. He won the green jersey, which is the High Points Trophy. So he got he made the most points. You get points for winning the race. You get points for there's I think there's two points on the race for sprint points. You get points for the mountains. He's a great rider.
Loose, according to him. Earlier today, our Carolyn Mano caught up with a man wearing the yellow jersey who will be crowned the Tour de France champion tonight, Chris Froome.
So many legends in your sport have ridden down the Champs-Élysées. What does the Champs-Élysées mean to you?
It really is special. It's where, okay, personally I'm not looking at winning obviously on the Champs-Élysées. That's for the sprinters, but getting there and just the sheer number, I think it's just the vastness of everything hits you when you get onto the Champs-Élysées. The people, the crowds, the fact that we're at the end, what it represents, the end of such a long journey for us. I can't wait to get there.
Chris Froome looks relieved, but he also looks pretty excited.
Oh yeah.
And this guy right here, Nairo Quintana from Colombia. He won. This guy right here. He won the green jersey for the High Points. This guy right here. He won the polka dot jersey for the King of the Mountain. Now, I did make a mistake. Those three are not going to be the ones on the podium. The yellow jersey is for the leader of the race, and then the next two positions are for the people that finished the race. The guys that finished the race second and third. And so Nairo Quintana in the polka dot jersey and the white jersey, it's just, it's not necessarily coincidental, but he is the one who had the second best time, so he's going to be on the podium, and the other guy is going to be Rodriguez, because it's the top three finishers, the least amount of time for the top three. That's who's going to be on the podium. I'm going to show you these guys. The races hasn't really started yet, so they're getting ready to race right now. So you'll see that. Here they go. This is Chris Froome. He's the yellow jersey, and these guys are coming by. That's the Petit Prince from Italy. What is his name? That's his nickname. He's from Italy. He's I can't remember his name. These guys coming by to say congratulations to the yellow jersey, the winner. These guys are great. Now watch this guy right here. He's touching him. He's going to touch him right here. He's hot. This guy right here, he's in the colors. I'm pretty sure this is accurate. He's in the colors of the French national champion. So they're having a good time. This is a big celebration. 3 weeks of riding, so many miles. This is a culmination. Everyone's going to be they're just thrilled just to be there. The last guy in the Tour de France is known as the Lanterne Rouge, the Red Lantern, because that's right. This guy right here, the Red Lantern, is the last rider, because that's the lantern on the back of the train. This guy right here, his name is Mark Cavendish. He's won four races on the Champs-Élysées, 4 in a row. He's won. It's going to be a sprint race, and so it's very possible he'll win 5 in a row today. But a lot of these other guys are very, very good, and so we'll see what happens. I haven't seen this before. We'll just watch a little bit and see the guys congratulating the guy, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful race. this guy right here is Joaquim Rodriguez. He's the guy. Look at this. He's a little celebration right there. That's going to be the guy that's third place on the podium.
He's going to have a hard time today, though, Phil, because there are some
the last 20 days of racing. The race was finished off yesterday, but that man in the white, Mark Cavendish, has never been beaten on the Champs-Élysées in the 4 years he's been finishing the Tour here.
He's going to have a hard time today, though, Phil, because there are some fabulous sprinters still left in the Tour de France this afternoon. Well, this is Purito is his nickname. That is Joaquim Rodriguez. He moved up into third place overall yesterday. What a change on the penultimate day of the Tour de France. Doesn't very often happen like that. The battle we saw yesterday was really a battle royale, which is why I believe it's so fitting to start from Versailles this morning for the 100th edition of the Tour de France to come to a close.
Versailles.
On the cobblestones of the Champs-Élysées. A little chat between this year's winner and a former winner on the far side. In the red is Cadel Evans. I think he'd probably like to wind forward on this year and just put away this Tour de France.
Cadel has had a tough tour. Bravo to everybody. Well done, everybody, says the lady who has shown the time gaps throughout 21 days of the Tour de France, telling them exactly where they stand, in front, in the middle, or behind the race. As we continue to show you the unusual sightings of the chateau here from the helicopter, the riders assembled here this morning, or this afternoon rather. This is going to be the first time in the history of the Tour de France we'll finish in the twilight on the Champs-Élysées. Of course, in the early days, the riders simply slept on the roadside and pedalled through the night back in the early 1900s. But now, the modern-day racing always finishes around 5 in the afternoon.
Oh, look at these guys.
It looks like Purito is determined to have this cigar, whatever is the case. And Peter Sagan is saying, really, I tell you what, Peter Sagan's beard's come on well in 3 weeks.
It certainly has. It started off in the first part of the tour, and he's actually groomed it ever since. Just on the left-hand side, yesterday, by the way, was Colombian Independence Day, and what a celebration they will have had in Colombia. Not only with the young rider Nairo Quintana moving up into second place in the overall standings, but what a day. He consolidated his lead in the Best Young Rider competition, and he won the King of the Mountains too.
And if you speak Spanish, of course, Purito, his nickname, it means cigar. And
oh, that's funny.
Surely he's not going to smoke it. Well, he's going to have a go anyway. It was brilliant yesterday. He rose up to a podium finish here in about 2.5, 3 hours' time. Won't light, he says. Wind's too strong. Give it to the spectators. That's the best place for it. Purito, he'll be on the podium tonight in third place. Now, we're speaking as if the tour is over. It is not over. If these riders on the podium places were not to finish today, they lose those places. They've got to ride to the finishing line of the Champs-Élysées. But because the battle's been won over the mountains of France, the Pyrenees, the Alps, the individual time trials we've seen, like the one to Mont Saint-Michel or down in Chauges, they have still got to finish. And we've known riders abandon, Paul. One rider, Sean Yates, retired one there on the Saturday, but I've seen riders, unfortunately, fall off on the Sunday on the Champs-Élysées and not cross the final line, and they don't get recorded.
No, they don't. If you do not finish the final day of the Tour de France, your name will not go down in the record books. You've got to get across the line. And in fact, Jamaluddin Abdujaparov, a great sprinter from the 1990s, actually crashed right in front of the finishing line, and he was taken across the finishing line in a stretcher with his bike. Therefore, his name was recorded. But what a dramatic crash that was. And the sprinters, because there are so many sprinters in this race who want to win on the Champs-Élysées, I think we'll see a fairly dangerous sprint as well, and I wouldn't want to see Chris Froome or any of the other riders getting involved with that. Of the 198 riders at the start, Phil, only 170 remain, and that equals the record of the largest number of finishes, and that was back in 2010.
Only 28 riders not completing the 3-week race, which started on the beautiful island of Corsica in the Mediterranean. In fact, surrounded by 4 seas, but it's basically in the Mediterranean. Andy Schleck there. And there's the director of the Tour de France, Christian Prudhomme, making his race notes probably for next year's tour. The Tour de France next year will start in the United Kingdom, in Yorkshire.
Now I'm going to show you something that is really a remarkable feat, this guy right here. He beat Mark Cavendish. You'll see it. And you'll hear the announcer say that, you know, it's just a remarkable finish. So you can watch this. This is from earlier in this year's tour.
As Cavendish comes away now, he's chased by Marcel Kittel, but you'll never catch Cavendish at this stage of the race. But there's a second get, and Marcel Kittel gets 3 wins out of this year's Tour de France.
Marcel, do you feel you've now confirmed your place among the top sprinters in the world?
Yeah, I'm very proud what we achieved here in the Tour de France. I showed as a sprinter what I can do, and it's a big success for us so far.
And having lost a bet that Kittel could not win 3 stages at this year's Tour, Argos Shimano teammate Koen de Kort put scissors to head on the second rest day for a matching haircut. Kittel himself has said, "My dream is to win on the Champs-Élysées." And today we will find out if this new member of sprinting's elite has got the power for one final win in Paris.
It's going to be absolutely wonderful to see this, because Kittel won 3 stages this year, and Cavendish, he's won, I think, 1 or 2. I'm not sure. But the Champs-Élysées, that race is for the if the sprinters. That's probably the crowning achievement as far as a single win would be winning on the Champs-Élysées at the end of the Tour de France. The sprinters are not going to be winning the Tour de France, because in order to win that competition, you have to be good at climbing, which the sprinters are not. They get dropped all the time. They're way, way behind. You have to be a good climber, time trialist, sprinter. You have to be a well-rounded, not necessarily a sprinter for the GC. That's general classification, but you have to be a good time trialer, a good climber, and you just have to be the strongest, best rider out there. And the sprinters, they have a hard time getting over the mountain. So it's going to be a great race, and it's going to be great because Cavendish has got 4 in a row. He might get 5 today, but Kittel might beat him. So we'll see.
On the right is Marcel Kittel. They've clashed before all the way around France, particularly in Saint-Malo. It's 3 wins to Kittel so far, 2 to Mark Cavendish, and Sagan could spoil the party. He's the only green jersey left.
Kittel has the ideal position right now, and it's his teammates who are leading him right out now. Cavendish has got to take a few risks as he goes around this final corner. He's got himself there into 4th position, Mark Cavendish. He's right on the wheel of Marcel Kittel. This is not going to be the normal lead out for him.
As Kittel starts to move, Greipel is there. Cavendish is on Greipel's wheel. Remember that Cavendish has never been beaten here. Cavendish grits his teeth. He's on the outside of Greipel. I don't think he's going to get through this one as he comes up towards the line now, but he's kicking again and he hits the line. It is going to be desperately close, but they are saying he hasn't hit the line first.
Well, that was an
Looks like
unbelievable
Marcel
sprint.
Kittel has lived a dream.
It's the man in the middle there in the white jersey. If you look at Kittel, it's the lunge for the line. You talk
Look at
about
the wheel,
the
look
best,
at the bike of Cavendish all over the road.
the best 3 sprinters in the world, 1st, 2nd and 3rd, and the man who gets it. Look at this. Cavendish never really got going here. He didn't have the right lead out that he needs. He's trying to battle himself up alongside Greipel. Greipel's in a massive gear closest to the camera there. As you can see the difference now. Kittel kicks again. He looks at the line. He holds it as hard as he can, but when they come up to the line there with that last lunge, there's no chance at all. Kittel is the fastest man.
But there is the winner of the Tour de France. Sky for the 2nd year have taken the winner to the line. Chris Froome, 2nd last year, is the winner of the Tour de France this time. His boy, who was born in Nairobi, brought up in Johannesburg, races for the UK, has won the Tour de France. In 2 years, after drawing a blank for 98 editions of the Tour de France, Great Britain has now won number 99 and number 100.
And that man there really dominated it.
Okay, wow, what a finish. Marcel Kittel. It's a great finish. Okay, I'm Hella Rodney. Thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll do it again next year. Bye-bye.